Okay, so this is me doing dry hopping using the yeast catcher in the keg. Now, what I do is switch off the keg. So it's switched off, I'll unscrew this. This is the other thing, I do it after cold crashing, because what I do is reuse the yeast. I'll do that as well, but I also reuse the hops. When you're dry hopping, especially cold, the bitterness stays behind, so you can actually take that out and put it into the boil. There's 50 grams of Rocco in here. I can use that as a measure for what goes back in later. I've got 2 sanitized preserving jars here, ready to go. One with sanitized water in it that I'll put the yeast into. And also I've sanitized everywhere on the desk here. Oh, tiny bit of beer coming out, but it's really pretty clean. And this can now go into here. There as I can. Get a bit of sanitizer from that. Double check. The water comes in. Probably just throw that last bit away, actually. I'll wait for that to settle out. So now I'll just pause for a sec while I go and wash this out, and then the next step is putting in the dry hop. Right, so I washed this and sanitized it. So in goes 50 grams of Rocco. So obviously we don't want any air in our beer, so we fill it up with the beer. And the idea is to get the head right to the top to get any air out of that. There we go. So now with that popping out the top there, screw it back on. Okay, so it's nice and tight. First I'll just open it up. Why I came to doing it this way is actually a paper by the Oregon State University. It's by Castigate. If you search those things on Google, there's a fantastic paper on dry hopping which basically found that most of the flavour you'll get from dry hopping will happen in the first 24 hours basically. After that it's downhill. And that you can get most of the flavour out cold as well. And doing it cold actually has the advantage of being able to reuse the hop later, which I've had success with. But the other thing they found made a big difference to dry hopping was being able to stir or move the hops, move the beer through the hops. Having it sitting there was significantly, like 2 versus 9 times the flavours out of the hop pellets, and hop pellets are much better actually as well. So with a small keg like this, what you can do is every now and then turn it upside down and really mix your hops right through the whole brew. And I just do that every day or so to get the best out of my hops. So we're back in the fridge here, and I thought I'd just put in a quick shot of the hops sitting in the bottom, and I'll try and get another one later. They really expand to fill up probably up to here. It's quite amazing. So here's where we're racking off. You can see down here the hops have settled out to about here. It's nice and clear on top. One problem I'm having with this, and it would be really good to, if anybody knows why it might be, when I do this, the outlet tends to block up. It's really hard to get beer out. I blow gas back in to clear it, and that works for a couple of minutes and it blocks up again. But there's so much clear space here and really clear looking beer, I just can't figure it out. It must be sort of sitting up inside the fermenter and somehow blocking up the outlet. Now we'll see if that happens now. Right, so the beer is flowing. Get the oxygen out of that tank. Do that first. So this is a close-up of the yeast catcher and the hops in the bottom, and you can see how clear the beer is in it. But the really interesting thing is if you look at the transfer, just trickling through, this has got like 40 psi in there and almost nothing over on this side. Yeah, so somehow up on the top of here the intake's got blocked up. It's very peculiar.